Hi, this is John Pettigrew, and you're listening to Talking Through My Hat, a podcast about books, bookish businesses, and the fantastic people who create them. I'm a hat wearer, a recovering editor, and the creator of Future Proofs, enabling editors and authors to proofread their books and collaborate effectively online. To find out more, visit wearefutureproofs.com or follow me on Twitter at John_Pettigrew. Hi, welcome to another episode of Talking Through My Hat. Today I'm going to be talking about the London Book Fair because a week from today, when this episode is released, the London Book Fair 2018 will be starting. So, are you going? I've been going for quite a number of years, and I thought I'd spend a little bit of time today thinking about how to get the most out of the book fair and how perhaps you should approach it, especially if you maybe haven't been very often, haven't been at all before. So, some little bits of advice for what goes on there. So what is the London Book Fair? It is one of the big trade fairs for publishing, which means that publishers and the related industries all get together and talk and party and spend time going to presentations and getting to know each other and exchanging deals fundamentally. Authors getting deals, publishers sharing rights deals, suppliers getting deals with new clients. All this kind of stuff goes on. But for a lot of people who go, it's about social contact. It's about meeting people you know and renewing those relationships. It's about getting some news. What's going on? What are people doing? Who's moved where? It can often be quite an energizing and uplifting experience because you're meeting people. You get that buzz from talking to people about something that you both care about. You get that buzz from learning new things, meeting new people and learning what they can do and what excites them. And seeing all the wonderful different kinds of things people do within publishing, it's very easy to get stuck within our own little box, our own little silo, where we know what we do, and that's what matters, because it is what matters to us most of the time, of course. But to go out and see the breadth of things people do as part of publishing, from academic publishing to technical to educational and trade non-fiction through novels, huge amount of stuff, and all the kind of services people provide around it, interactive videos and print services and digital services and a huge amount of things, exciting new stuff that you didn't really think about perhaps that might be useful to you in the way you go about it. Plus, of course, we get some work done. We renew deals with people, we make new deals, depending on what our work is. But it's often we'll go and meet people that we knew we wanted to talk to because they're in the country for the event, and it's a really good opportunity to say, right, we're going to sit down together and actually sign on the dotted line and do things. So this is kind of the nature of the book fair. It's a lot of hustle, a lot of moving about, a lot of energy. And as I say, it can be energizing and uplifting as an experience, but it can also be very tiring. It's always on the go from kind of 9 in the morning till 5 at night. There's a lot going on and quite a lot of pressure we often feel on ourselves to get these things done. We have targets, we have people we need to talk to, meetings we need to be at, and these things can take a look out of you. So I wanted to think a little bit about, okay, how do we approach it? And I want to suggest 3 things that maybe we should think about when we go to the book fair. Not just London, of course, the others as well. 3 things, and they all begin with the same letter, for which I apologise. Planning is very important. Presentation and parties. So, planning. To get the most out of the book fair, you have to start a few weeks in advance, certainly a few days in advance. Get in touch with people and say that you want to talk to, and say, can I talk to you at the fair? When are you free? Where shall we meet? So a lot of people have a stand, a booth, where you can sit down and have a talk, but there's lots of places you can grab a coffee or just talk at one of the tables that are spread around the fair. But planning ahead of time helps an awful lot, because your chance of actually just randomly bumping into the right person when they happen to be free is quite low. It's also very tempting, of course, when you're doing your planning, to book yourself solid, to get all the meetings in. But do leave time for when you're not booked in, because dashing from meeting to meeting to meeting every half hour, kind of 9:30, 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock, it wears you out. You've got to fight your way through the crowd. You don't want to be late for your next meeting, but you want to give plenty of time for the meeting you're in. You need to leave gaps to rest, to grab yourself a cup of tea, to get off your feet and spend a little bit of time just going, whew, and reflecting on what you've talked about. Make those notes that you meant to do so that you know what you said and you know what you need to follow up on. And when you're doing your planning, make sure you have your quick description of who you are and what you do, the elevator pitch, that idea that if you're in an elevator ride with somebody, you've got 30 seconds, can you explain the importance of what you're trying to do, what you can do for somebody in 30 seconds, who you are and what you do? Just try and get that down, practice it a little bit, just hone it right down to the key points of what do you do, and being able to explain it off the cuff in a familiar way, in a relaxed way, but quickly, but still hitting the key points that are going to make people go, you're somebody I need to talk to. So the second P, presentation. Once you get to the fair, once you get to the meeting, or as you set off, there are a few things to think about. What do you wear? If you're presenting yourself at the book fair, you want to seem professional. The phrase, dress for the job you want, not necessarily the job you have. But you don't want to be overly formal. If you turn up there in a 3-piece suit and a tie, or a pantsuit and pearls, it's going to give a slightly too formal impression. You want to look professional, but you want to look relaxed, and you need to wear clothes that are going to survive an intense day or intense couple of days of work. So you want to wear comfortable shoes, definitely comfortable shoes, comfortable clothes that you'll be able to move in, a bag that doesn't have too much stuff, but that's going to give the right impression, that's going to help people to remember you and to form the right first impression when they see you. When you're presenting yourself, you need to think about the words you say as well. So know the names of the people you're going to be talking to, and have the words about yourself as well. Know what your elevator pitch is, what your basic presentation is as well. If you're going to talk to someone for 20 minutes or half an hour, you need to have things to say. You need to have stuff prepared so that you can go, right, here's what matters, and here I can delve a bit deeper into this and explain why it matters and why you'll get something out of it. And also, when you're talking to people, don't forget to act with respect. Because it's a professional environment, you're hoping to work with people, but also it's a human environment, and we need to treat each other with the respect that we deserve as human beings. And if you give somebody else respect, they will treat you with respect, and that's what we all want in that kind of environment. The third P, parties. There are a pretty good number of parties go on at the book fairs. At the end of the day, the work will start to stop at about 4:30, 5 o'clock. There are some parties that are well arranged ahead of time. Things like Book Machine, Bite the Book, IPG will have events that are well advertised on their stands. Other publishers and other organisations will have drinks going on their stand that you might not have heard of, but they're still there. And it's an opportunity to meet some new people who are out of your usual sphere. It's a good thing to go to these parties because they are the social side of the book fairs. It's a really, really good chance to break out of your comfort zone in a comfortable way, to meet people in a relaxed environment where, it's a party. No one's expecting to be sold to. You're not trying to do the hard pitch. And it's a really nice chance to relax and break down. Plus, of course, it's the end of the day. And if you try and leave the book fair at 4:30, 5 o'clock, you're going to be in the middle of the rush hour. And that's not fun. So, hang around for an extra half an hour or an hour, meet some people, chill out a bit. And then when you do leave, the traffic won't be quite so bad, or the trains won't be so bad. But a few things to think about at parties. As I've mentioned, the publishers break out the wine, the beer, fizzy at these do's. And there'll be a little bit of food around as well. But as in a lot of contexts, don't feel pressurized to drink alcohol. Not everybody does, for a lot of reasons. Some people don't want it. It's the end of a busy day when you've not eaten a lot of food, perhaps, and downing 4 glasses of wine in 10 minutes may not leave you in the best state of mind to be having those professional conversations in a social, relaxed environment. The organisers will always have something non-alcoholic there, whether it be water or juice or something. Don't be ashamed to just have a glass. And no one knows what you're drinking, and no one cares what you're drinking. Don't feel pressurised to drink alcohol just because other people are doing it. Don't forget that these things are parties, so don't hard sell to people at the parties. We all introduce each other, we say who we are and what we do, and this is where your little elevator pitch can come in useful because, you might have an opportunity to exchange business cards and follow up the next day or a week later and say, well, glad to have met you, and here's the conversation that we started. But it is a party. It's not a time to try and sell to people. And treat each other with respect at parties. Back off if the person you're talking to doesn't seem that interested. They don't have to be. There'll be somebody else. Move on and talk to them. And don't try not to feel pressurised to talk to somebody who wants to talk to you. You're allowed to move on. and to talk to the people who you want to meet. So that's some little bits of advice to what might make the book fair a more enjoyable experience to you. Enjoy it is the underlying thing. Have a good time, get some work done, do some socialising, meet some people, and have a good time. Next week is the book fair, but there is a Talking Through My Hat episode coming, and it's a special interview with Emma Barnes of BiblioCloud. So come back next week to hear what Emma has to say to us about starting a business, about passion for publishing, and about how to be literate in the modern age. Thanks very much for listening, and if you see me at the book fair, let me know you listen to the podcast, and I'll hope to see you then. This was Talking Through My Hat, a podcast by John Pettigrew, CEO and founder of We Are Futureproofs. Please let me know your thoughts by leaving a review at Apple Podcasts or by commenting on our website, myhat.wearefutureproofs.com. You can subscribe to this channel wherever you get your podcasts. Our theme music is from hooksounds.com.